This is DJ DeMarco, and sitting in our studio is our good friend, DJ Dr. Sue, taking a break from her show on KPLW. DJ Dr. Sue, welcome back to the Love Edition.
Actually, it's DJ Sue Doctor. The doctor's more like a positive, not a title, if that makes sense.
Sure. It makes total sense.
Not everyone gets it.
So let's go to a caller. We've got Matthew on the line. What's going on, Matthew? You're on the Love Edition.
Yeah,
Hey, Matt, you can't say that on the air. FCC rules.
I'm sorry. I meant I'm a complete a total
Matthew, I meant you can't use obscene language like what you just said.
Everyone messes up sometimes, Matthew. Did you cheat on your girlfriend?
No, I never do that. I'm married.
Oh, so you cheated on your wife.
No, of course not. That's a sin.
It is.
Yes, it's one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
And that's how you know cheating on your wife is wrong?
I didn't cheat on my wife.
I don't think he cheated on his wife.
Answer the question, Matthew. You're saying that the reason you would never cheat on your wife is because the Bible tells you it's a sin?
Yeah.
Not because, maybe your own inner sense of what's right and wrong might tell you that without having to consult a reference book? You have to look that shit up, Matthew.
FCC rules. Dr. Sue.
It's DJ Sue Doctor. Listen, Matthew. So you feel like you messed up because you broke a commandment or something?
Well, I haven't really found this particular subject matter in the Bible.
So you think you messed up because something inside is telling you it's wrong?
Yeah.
Then I've got a feeling you may have really f***ed up, Matthew.
DJ Sue Doctor. FCC rules.
FCC rules can kiss my Besides, don't listen to the show with a handful of people down 6th Street. So don't get your panties in a bunch and calm the down.
Okay. Then why don't we turn back to the caller?
Right. Matthew. So why don't you tell us what the is going on?
Okay.
Jesus.
You're such little animals, huh? Just tearing all over the place. Screech, screech. Kids that age, they screech whenever they want. Something upsets them, they just screech. It's okay for them to do that, because they're kids. Everything is forgiven. Sometimes I feel like screeching. Do you ever want to screech like that? I guess sometimes it's nice to be quiet, too. To screech inside, Screech! Hey, you're kind of jumpy today. Quiet, but jumpy. You should stop eating these things. You're going to make yourself sick. Wow. I could shut up. I could just shut up for the rest of my life, never say another word. But I can't seem to shut up.
No, you can't.
No, I can't. Things upset you, you want to screech. Screech. Look at that. Their legs are so short. When they lose their balance and fall, they don't really fall, they just kind of flop over. Little animals, right? I always wanted one. You know that? I always wanted a child. Ever since I was a little kid. It's weird when you think about it that anyone wants to have this separate person that they're responsible for. This thing you have to pour all your time and energy and resources into. Why do you want to go through all that when the little beast is just going to eat through all your savings and just break your heart in the end? Kids all do that. No, they really do. Kids all break your heart. But when they're so young, it's not on purpose. Nothing's on purpose. It's not like they're betraying you or anything. Adults, though, adults can betray like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Betrayal. It's a nasty word, betrayal. Betrayal.
Look, Lane, it's not my fault, okay? I tried talking to her about it. She wouldn't change her mind.
You tried talking to her.
Yes, I did, okay? I tried talking to her about it.
I'm sure you tried awfully hard.
Lane, I'm on your side here. If it weren't for me, Mona would never have agreed to this. You know how she feels about you showing up here.
Here, like sitting outside on a park bench.
Here, showing up to Hope's school. It's a good school.
It's a public school, Matthew. It's not a secret location. I can come by here anytime.
It's supposed to. Not with restraining order.
That restraining order is bullshit.
Restraining order. It's not natural.
I know.
It's a good town. It's small, but people, they're like family. They trust each other. They feel safe here.
Huh? Did we grow up in the same town?
Of course, you experience things just a little differently. People here do have more traditional views, but that's what makes it such a good place to raise a family. There shouldn't have been a need for that restraining order.
There isn't. Hope is my daughter, remember?
She's not your daughter.
You just said that to me, didn't you? I really just heard you say that. That wasn't in my head.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
You do.
Yeah. You mean that after all these years of fighting, you and Mona have finally become the people you despised? Hey, you got that rash again. I told you you'd make yourself sick.
Lane. Mona and I just finally grew up, okay?
Grew up. Grew up in a bigoted fuckface.
It's not right. Sometimes you're not right, like Mona says.
Oh, is that what she says?
I have to go. I'm gonna go wait in the car.
That's exactly what bigoted fuckfaces do. Just run away and go sit in their Ford Explorers! Screech! Screech!
What are you yelling for? You're scaring the kids.
Are you kidding? I'm inspiring the kids. I'm calling them to action. Screech! Rise up, revolt, make merry! Oh, Hope is smiling, see?
Really, Lane, calm down. I know you like to surround yourself with pandemonium, but children don't like loud sounds.
Are you kidding, Mona? Hope loves when I do that. You know she does.
You upset Matthew, didn't you?
I've never upset him. He upsets himself.
What do you mean by that?
You're the one that lives with him now. You don't know?
Know what, Lane?
That the man's an expert at making himself miserable. Like playing awful holiday music that makes him irritable, eating peanuts even though he's slightly allergic, and becoming a father when it's the last thing he wants to do. I mean, the absolute last thing. Can you imagine this man a father? Look at him just sitting there in the car with the windows closed. Just sitting there, not moving. I don't even think he has the radio on. Tell me you don't think that's creepy.
Matthew's an incredible father, Lane. I wish you could see that. Hope is a very lucky young girl.
I guess it's because you do live with him that you're blind to some of his most obvious flaws. I mean, look at me. I lived with someone for 12 years. 12 whole years. Can you believe that? Before realizing that she had no actual soul to speak of.
Lane, how are you?
Mona, I'm fine. Absolutely fine.
How's work?
Oh, it's going great. Fell behind on a few projects during the apartment search, but I had a few websites hanging there in the balance for a while, but that's to be expected when you work from home and suddenly your home fucks you. Unfortunately, my clients are pretty understanding about it.
I don't know why you always have to be so angry, Lane. You know that was always your problem. You don't see any of the good things in front of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My vision's off. See, I got this giant, soulless, human-like thing blocking my vision. She's about yay high, dark hair, glasses, changes her convictions a lot. You can't miss her.
Well, let me remind you. There's Hope over there. In the playground on the swings. She's my daughter. I carried her for 9 months. I went through 10 hours of labor to bring her into this world. Do you know what that's like, Lane? to give birth to another human being?
I've seen videos. Once saw a live birth, hopes in fact. From what I gather, there's pain involved. You get real sweaty, you scream a lot. After all that tension, release. Suddenly you're all peaceful and happy. It's kind of like rough sex. Remember?
You don't know what it's like, Lane. That's one reason you'll never understand.
Ah, yes. Tell me again how women who go through childbirth are stronger, wiser, more compassionate. Doesn't a woman's IQ grow exponentially with each childbirth? I do the research myself, but I'm not smart enough. Child deficient, you know.
I care about you, Lane. I really do.
Yes, I can tell. By the way, you abruptly left me, stole the kid we raised together, married the sperm donor, and filed a restraining order against me. All inside of 3 months. That's not just caring, that's commitment.
I wish you'd attend one of the services. I can't tell you enough how much they've changed my life.
A lot of other people's lives too, Mona.
Imagine you go through life feeling like there's something wrong with you. You're never accepted. You're shunned by everyone.
That's because we live here. You didn't want to move, you wanted to stay close to your family.
So you find other outcasts like yourself to bury all your flaws and problems in a place characterized by the very same flaws and problems. You convince yourself that you're happy, that you enjoy being this way, that it's even natural. Does this sound at all familiar, Lane? And then finally something happens. Something clicks. Maybe it's finally being strong enough, brave enough to admit to yourself that you're wrong. That you've been living this life out of shame and cowardice, not because it's who you are or what you want. Can you imagine that, Lane? Admitting to yourself that you're wrong.
And Mona, shut up!
So angry.
Yes, I am. I want to talk to Mona. Mona, who I shared a life with and planned a family with and even had a family with until she decided to disappear and be replaced by some Jesus freak who hates dykes.
We never had family, Lane. We believed that no one else could love us, so we tried to love each other. Don't you see how sad that was?
It's sad how determined you are to disfigure us, as if the last dozen years weren't worth anything. It's sad that you finally let yourself surrender to all your insecurities when you used to fight them off by being stronger and fiercer than any of them. It's sad that you're probably having really boring sex now.
That's mature, Lane.
Like returning to the closet at 34 is mature? Please! Being in the closet is so junior high or adult priesthood.
Matthew and I are very happy together, Lane.
Yeah, you guys seem to have a lot of fun together. Is there a lot of sitting in the car silently with the radio off?
He's only doing that because of you, Lane.
Well, we used to all be happy together.
Well, there's a reason for everything. Matthew came to us as a friend. As a friend, he agreed to donate his seed.
His seed? Does everything have to be so biblical with you now? Jesus Christ!
Sperm sounds so clinical. He gave us the gift of a new life, Lane. And not just hope, but a new life for me and for him.
Congratulations. You're spared the tragedy of growing old with me. Why don't you just go join him in the parked car? I'm just here to see hope, like I do every day.
Or you're not supposed to. I filed a restraining order.
But I challenged it, remember? And it was temporary anyway, and isn't valid anymore.
I hope you don't try to make her go with you tonight. You know she's coming home with us. And if you start yelling in front of her, it's just going to upset her.
Of course I'm not going to do that. Have I ever done that in front of her, no matter what cruel, unbelievable shit you pull? Good.
Because it's not going to help her be a normal child to have some hysterical woman screaming around her.
Hope wants to see me. You know she does.
Hope's young, Lane. Children have short memories. She might want to see you now, but she'll forget about you sooner or later.
Wow. You must be some sort of child psychologist. The way you lay that out for me. No further questions, Your Honor. Hope is gonna forget about Lane. That's just the nature of kids. They forget about people. Who needs continuity? There really isn't any reason for parents or permanent guardians. We should just have some kind of system where kids are raised without having to form relationships at all with other human beings. That sounds like a lot of fun. Perfect world, I think.
Talk to her for 5 minutes, Lane. But this is the last time. You filed a new restraining order. That's why I decided we should meet you here today to tell you in person.
How thoughtful.
We just realized that interaction of any kind with you could be extremely damaging to Hope.
So you filed a new restraining order? I'll fight it just like the last one.
I think that's going to be difficult, Lane. I told them about your condition.
What condition?
Self-mutilation, Lane.
What are you talking about?
Do you know where the scars on your arms and neck came from?
Yeah. They came from being cut up by a gang of neo-Nazis after we left the Purple Moon. Asian and a dyke. I didn't have a chance. You're the one that pulled out the gun and scared them off, remember?
There's no police record of that, Lane. No report was filed. You can't prove it was that. And since there's no official record, police, hospital, or otherwise explaining how you got such visible scars, I think it was probably self-mutilation.
No one's gonna believe that, Mona.
And you're homosexual on top of that with a history of depression. And there's plenty of paper trails to back that up, and that's not the kind of personality that a little girl should be growing up with.
That was a long time ago.
Really, Lane, do you think they'll care if it was last year or 10 years ago?
And to think I stayed in the shithole of a town for you? And you would do this to me?
It's for the best, Lane. Really, you don't want Hope to be damaged by growing up in an unnatural environment.
Oh my God, Mona. I think I finally figured it out. It's you. You're still Mona. The very same.
What are you talking about?
These past few months have been, shall we say, brutal, to be hip and understated about it. I can't say I didn't see a breakup coming. You were pulling away, losing interest in talking to me, losing interest in my jokes, losing interest in everything. But this Christian, I'm not David? My God! We used to make fun of those converted homosexual poster children and predicted correctly, by the way, that every single one of them would return to their ungod-fearing ways. So, God changed. Insane. I was speechless, dumbfounded, mute.
You're growing redundant, Lane.
But then I had time to think about it. Recover a bit. I was trying to figure out why. What happened?
Did you figure it out?
Well, first, I suspected it was your short-lived love affair with a raw foods diet. After a lifetime of eating meat several times a day, you suddenly cut it out. Of course a person would turn evil. I think it's about that time you convinced me to change her name to Hope. God I can't believe I agreed to let my daughter have such a hippy-dippy name!
It's a beautiful name, Lane. But I wouldn't expect you to appreciate it.
Then I thought more about it. Processing. Very into the whole processing thing. Very healing, Mona. Oh. And just now, what you said, looking at you, it hit me. This is Mona. She's always been this insecure. She's always had such a hard time not hating herself. Mona's always been in this ongoing battle with Mona.
Like I said, Lane, I always felt ashamed of the life I was leading.
No, you hated everything about yourself. You hated your body. You hated your voice. You hated that you forget people's names even 5 minutes after they told you.
Short-term memory loss isn't fun, Lane.
You hated your work. You thought your writing was terrible. That one day the literary world would realize what a fraud you were.
All of it was because I was leading a fundamentally flawed life.
I always knew you were battling your insecurities. I didn't love that you thought so little of yourself. I loved that you were always fighting back. That there was this rogue part of you constantly trying to kill you. But the Mona part of you was always on the counterattack, fighting back, saying, sucker! I got your number, you can back the fuck down! I saw you doing that every day. So fucking powerful. So fucking beautiful. You.
It wasn't like that. I was weak. I was always weak.
No, you were always strong. You were always fighting back. I helped the best I could, but it was always you letting off them pesky things. Inner demons are a bitch, you know.
You never told me that, Lane.
And just now, you telling me everything you've done to twist your memory of us, twist your idea of love, I suddenly realized you gave up. You lost after all these years of fighting.
No.
Now you're weak. Now I see what happened. You got tired of fighting so hard. And I should have known, Mona, you being who you are, you can't just give in to some feelings of self-loathing. You have to go all the way, no moderation for this woman. You can't just hate a part of yourself. You have to hate yourself so utterly, so completely, that you decide to burn the deepest, most fundamental pieces of who you are.
Shut up, Lane! What's wrong?
Well, I've always wanted to take part in a courtroom battle pitted against someone I used to love. Here's my chance.
Take us to court.
Oh, I wouldn't not take you to court.
You want to put a little girl through a trial? What's wrong with you, Lane?
I don't know. I guess I'm evil. I am gay, you know.
I want to put her through the trauma, Lane.
I think she's at risk of trauma far worse if she spends the rest of her childhood alone with you as the mother figure.
Can't you just leave us alone, Lane? If you love her as much as you say you do, you'll just let her live her life like a normal human being.
And let her learn normal from you? Mona, you're not just a closeted lesbian. You're a re-closeted lesbian who, after spending over a decade in what was once a healthy relationship with another woman, suddenly became a vegan and decided she liked not just dick, but church at the same time.
You always have to make things sound so ugly, Lane. You can always do that.
She's our kid. Do you understand that? She's our kid. She's my kid. Not anymore, Lane. How can you expect me to just let her go? I love her. And I'm her mama. She calls me mama. She calls you mom. Tell you the truth, I think she likes me better. Okay, Lane. You can go on and pretend that you have any sort of future with my kid. Use any weird little psychological machinations at your disposal. That doesn't change the fact that I finally decided to be on the winning side. Get it, Lane? I choose to be on the winning side. You think it's because I gave in to my insecurities? You think that's what this is about? You're wrong, Lane. I was sick of being afraid to hold the hand of the person I loved in public for fear of getting looks or worse from strangers. I was sick of my parents refusing to meet the person I was sharing my life with. And grinning through jokes about nights being ugly, hairy women with no fashion sense. I was sick of wondering if you'd get beat up on your way home. And worrying about you dying and leaving me with no one acknowledging what I'd lost. Well, boo fucking who, Mona? Life is hard. We've always had to deal with idiots, okay? We're not the only ones, and others have to deal with worse. I don't want to deal with so-called idiots anymore, Lane. That's why I changed. I wanted to make a choice to not live like that. So now you're saying it's actually a choice? That loving women is a choice? I'm saying it's a choice to live like that. And maybe it doesn't feel right to you. Maybe it feels really wrong. But I've had it. I only have one life to live, and I'm not going to live it as a second-class citizen. So maybe you're right, Lane. Maybe I gave up. If I can convince myself that I never loved you, and I still don't, then it's a hell of a lot easier than any life we could have had together. No. Oh, it can't be easier. Only if you bury yourself alive. And you're deadly going to have Lane at the rate we were going. You know the direction this country's headed. Families like ours would have been don't stand a chance. I'm going to start a family that has a chance.
Mona. School's about to let out in a few minutes. We should go check in the lobby.
Once we pick her up, you can have 5 minutes. And we're taking her home for good.
It's for it better. Mona and I talk about this a lot, and we just don't want to confuse hope. You understand? You know it's for Hope's good, right?
You try and convince yourself of that, Matthew. You'll sleep better.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Hope! Over here! It's Mama! Screech! Rise up, revolt, and make merry! Screech!
Well, that one went out to our friend Matt. Let's wish him luck out there with that situation. What did you think, DJ Sue, Doctor?
Well, I think Matt's got a point.
And what's that?
Well, what he said. He really is a total fucking fucked up fuck-up.
DJ Sue,
And that Mona character, what a fucking tool.
Hey, we don't judge people on this show. And please,
And
watch
that's
your...
what I don't like about your show. And you wonder why your ratings are plummeting.
Hey, our
I mean,
ratings are
why
hot.
shouldn't we judge? They call in, they want a judgment. Now, if people call it a KPLW, we're not going to hold your hand and blow sunshine up your ass. We are going to give you the real shit. No offense, DJ DeMarco. I love you, man.
I love you too, DJ Sue. Doctor.
It is DJ Sue, Doctor. Well done.